You know, and we all have our 15 minutes of fame, and I'd like to take a couple of my 15 minutes to talk about the rights and the wrongs in the world of professional wrestling.
And for the WWE Championship.
This match is for the ECW World Heavyweight Championship.
7 for the World Heavyweight Championship.
The match and new NWA Heavyweight Champion of the world.
We appreciate you guys coming out and taking your time to support women's wrestling in America.
This match is for the AWA World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode / podcast of the Rights and Wrongs of Pro Wrestling. Of course, this will be also simulcast of sorts onto the Women's Pro Wrestling Network channel on YouTube. And today, my guest is one Casey Warfield. Casey,
Hi.
there we go. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Good.
You know, that's the way it's supposed to be when Ms. Warfield is on the line. Is that not correct?
Of course.
Okay. Well, you know, we have to make sure we get these things across because we know that you have some listeners / admirers that's out there, some of which do not get the opportunity to see you any longer because if I'm not mistaken, you've made the trek from north to south not all that long ago.
Yeah. There's not a lot of there's not a lot of girl wrestlers that are in the north, like the north, like Michigan North. There's a couple that are in Canada, but they mostly work like Canada or, you know, Ohio. That's about it.
Well, have you not thought of well, let me start with, have you gone into Canada to work before?
I haven't. I've been I've had people say that I should, but I haven't because I need like a passport and whatnot still.
You haven't,
and I haven't got it yet.
Oh, shame on you, shame. Okay,
Yeah.
So Canada, although an option, has not been exercised quite yet because you have some channels to go through.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
I mean, once I get my passport and everything, I mean, the sky's the limit, you know.
So is that to say that the north areas, Michigan, the Great Lakes, so on and so forth, is a little dry for women's wrestling? Is that the scenario that you're painting here?
Yeah, it's a little dry. I mean, it'll come back. I for sure know that it'll come back. But in the Michigan area, it's a little dry with women's wrestling right now.
Okay, well, so now you've moved down to the south.
Mm-hmm.
Was this move prompted primarily for lack of competition?
Yeah, pretty much. And, you know, more experience. I've been doing this for 3 years, and I'm only 21, so, like, why not, you know?
Okay. Now, is there anybody that was actually, you know, I don't want to make it sound like you got a hit list going on or anything of that nature, but let's just put it out there. Was there anyone that you were actually looking like, you know, I'm going down there for them?
Looking like I went down there for them?
Yes.
No, I don't think
okay.
so.
All right.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that way, you know, just ask it.
I mean, I have connections and whatnot down here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I didn't come, like, to Texas kind of blind, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I do have connections down here already and everything, so.
But no one.
I mean, it's working out.
But no one specifically that you were looking like, I really want to get in the ring with this person.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple of girls down here that I want to get in the ring with still.
Okay, well, let's start with the list because, you know, in the huge but yet somehow small world that is professional wrestling, word tends to travel.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Now, who are these people that you are craving to get into the ring with?
Last weekend, I wrestled for Anarchy Championship Wrestling.
Okay.
And that's based out of Austin, Texas. And their main, like, face there, like, their main girl face there is Athena. Okay. And there's a lot of people that think that we look alike. So, like, when I go out there and, you know, I do my thing and everything, and I get an Athena chant and whatnot. So I always think to myself, okay, well, if I have an Athena chant, me and her might as well get into the ring together, you know? So, but she's getting over an injury right now, so I have to wait patiently.
Yes, I guess we want to give, speedy recovery to Athena. We did read about that some time ago. I think like broke her collarbone or something to that effect.
Yeah.
Wrestling can be quite vicious, and apparently more vicious than most people tend to give it credit for.
That's true. That is true.
Now, how do you even tolerate an Athena chant? I'm just saying.
I mean, there's not much you can do, really, because it's like there was one guy, like, that everybody else knew how I was. There was one guy that was just like, oh, Athena doesn't do this, and Athena doesn't tap, and Athena, and I'm just like, well, I can't really yell at you because, like, I'm supposed to be, like, a good guy here, but, you know, you're kind of making it hard. But I feel like that's, I feel like that's more like of a sign, you know, like, okay, then, you know, obviously this needs to happen soon, you know.
I see. Sounds like there might be some blood boiling there over the course of time. If you hear this enough, you may decide that you may snap in the ring and tell everybody, shut up. I'm not a Athena.
I know, right?
Be quiet, damn it. So, okay. We have Athena. She's clearly at the top of the list because of the signs, more or less, that the audience are presenting to you. They keep chanting her name, and I don't know how you can even maintain being a happy person in that environment.
Yeah.
But that's me. I don't want. I'm not trying to stir nothing. I'm just saying.
I mean, Athena, she's a good wrestler. Like, I'm not gonna bash her or anything. She's a really good wrestler, and even if I didn't get the Athena chance, I would love to be in the ring with her just to learn more.
Okay.
So so either way, it's gonna happen.
That's a good answer. Now, along with Athena, I've known that there have been several other people around that general vicinity, Claudia de Solis and Kyra. I always mispronounce her name, so I'm not going to do it other than say Kyra right now, and others. Now, within that crop that's out there, other than Athena, is there anyone that's healthy that you are I think I want to try this person?
I've already wrestled Claudia de Solis. Last summer, actually. It was a tag team. I wrestled her and Jordan Grace.
Okay. And
that was fun. It was interesting. It was very interesting. It's a new experience. So, and every time I wrestle someone new, it's always a new experience, and I always learn more and more. So, it was fun.
Indeed.
She's a little scary, though.
How so?
She's scary. Have you seen her? She's big and tough, and she screams everywhere.
I mean, we're talking about Claudia, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, her and her outfit, lot of flicker and flare going on in that thing. A lot of things hanging off,
Oh yeah.
A lot of tassels and whatnot. I can imagine if I saw that coming at me like fingernails and hair and tassels spinning around like some sort of crazy tornado, then yes.
Coming at you like a freight train.
Then that could be a little frightening on being on the receiving end of that.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, nothing else I couldn't handle, So.
All right. Well, that's the confidence we want to hear. So now, Ms. Warfield, the easy question here is why wrestling? Of all the things in the world that you could be doing with yourself, why in the world would you want to step into Zoom known as professional wrestling?
Well, why not? Pretty much all my life, I've always been a performer of some type. I've danced for a couple years, and then I did more dancing, like in high school. I did amateur wrestling in high school too for about 2 years, and I one day saw it on TV, and I've known about wrestling for a long time, and I've like watched it when I was little, but I didn't really think any of it because, you know, my mom's like, oh, that stuff's fake, and this, that, and the other thing, and I was like, okay, because, you know, I was 5, and I was, you know, naive. So when I was about, like, 13, I saw Little Rey Mysterio come out, and he flew over the ring, and he was so tiny, and he was doing all these tiny moves, and the fact that he was doing it very big and huge, and the fact that everybody was loving it so much made me want to do it, because the fact that I can do something so tiny and make it really, really big for everyone to see is really cool. It's actually really, really cool. And the fact that I get to travel everywhere and see everything and meet so many people in like so little time is also really cool too. It's really plus. It's really huge plus. I've, in the past like 3 years, I've met a bunch of girl wrestlers. I met a bunch of guy wrestlers. I even met some wrestlers that I grew up watching, you know.
Okay.
So it's a really great experience. You know, I wouldn't really change it for anything in the world.
Now, you said something interesting in the course of that is that the one thing that every wrestling fan and probably every wrestler before they actually step into the ring, and probably when they're in the ring, gets to hear in their life at some point is that stuff is fake.
Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is that a magician never tells his secrets.
Well,
so
unfortunately, wrestling has long given that up.
That's true.
They gave up those secrets a long time ago.
But the way that I explain it to people, because, you know, there's a couple of my best friends who don't watch wrestling because of that reason. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, do you watch movies? And they're like, well, yeah. And I'm like, it's basically the same thing. Which it is. If you really think about it, it's really the same thing, because with movies, they portray this, like, image where they're doing all this awesome stuff. They're jumping out of cars, and they're making things explode, and they're creating a story. Mm-hmm. In the wrestling ring, that's what we're doing. We're creating a story. We're doing all this stuff. We're jumping off of ropes. We're hitting each other with chairs, you know, to entertain you guys, you know? It's pretty much the same thing.
Very true, very true. That is one good way to put it. Of course, you know, you always have your cynics out there. While you're on the independents, do you feel like you have to be an ambassador for the professional wrestling industry? When you come across little situations like that, when somebody says, "Oh, how can you do that stuff? That's fake," or blah 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 blah. Do you feel like you have to be an ambassador? Like you just said there, you have a couple of friends that don't necessarily watch, but you have to explain it to them. You have to kind of put that out there. Like, no, look, it's same thing as TV. I mean, you know, Bruce Willis isn't actually John McClane. He didn't really jump off of that building. You know.
Exactly. Like, that's a stunt person. Which, honestly, if you'd ask me, we're putting ourselves on the line way more than actors do, because actors have stunt people. We don't. You know, we kind of have to do our own stunts, which I tell everybody. Like, I'm my own stunt person.
Yes,
you know?
You are. And you don't get any second or third takes.
Yeah, exactly. It's just one take. My boyfriend, he's a film director, and he tells me that all the time. He tells me about the difference between acting and the difference between wrestling, you know, all the time. And I think it's really interesting, and I think a lot of people should know the difference. I think they would understand more, you know, and have an open mind to it and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
They probably would, in my opinion, and I don't want to take you too off topic here, but in my opinion, they probably would understand if they had done what I did when I was there to assemble the ring. Like, if you assemble the ring one good time, like, you'll notice, like, this is not a trampoline like most people perceive it to be. And it can break bones. So like,
yes, I can.
yeah, so if you actually knew the construct of what a ring actually is, and that it's not just a playpen or something like that. They probably would tend to take it a little bit more seriously, or just walk in it. So just walk in it and jump up and down on it like 2 or 3 times. So you'll feel it's pretty solid.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty solid.
So, now, that being said, that's for all those people out there that are cynics and, I hope that message comes across, but I'm sure somebody's still going to screw around and say, I don't care.
Probably. I mean, you got people who are just set in their ways, and that's it,
But that's okay. We're here to talk about the rights of it, as in the title. See that? See, I just looped that back around. All right. Now, career goals for Miss Warfield. Where is exactly? You've already made one big jump. You have moved in order to further your wrestling passion. So in your ideal path, what would be next? Let's just assume that this works out perfectly. You've wrestled, you've learned, you've done everything that you needed to do in that region. Where exactly would you like to go beyond this?
Well, I decided that because I'm actually because at first, when you train to be a wrestler, your goal is to, go to the WWE, make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of fighting with myself on doing that, because everybody wants to go to the WWE and be famous and all this stuff. I kind of want to do like a little bit of acting, maybe. I was even talking to my boyfriend about that because, like I said, he's a director, and I'm just like, maybe I should take some acting classes while I'm down here. Maybe that'll help with promos, and I can get on some sets. Maybe that'll help too. And going to school too. I'm going to school for psychology. I want to be a counselor and/or therapist at some point of my life.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going to fit that in of my life, but at some point, that's kind of what I want to do. I like talking to people. I like hearing other people's stories, which is why I like being a wrestler, because hearing other people's stories, definitely wrestling stories, are like the best.
Okay. So you've got a pretty full plate. You are currently pursuing wrestling, not necessarily looking to make it the end all be all of your life, but if it happens, then I'm sure you certainly are not going to turn away from that.
Of course, if it happens, I'm not going to turn it down.
Apparently, acting might be a little bit of a bug for you, also, and psychology. I mean, that's a lot of ground there to cover.
Oh yeah, I mean, I can literally try to wrestle forever. I can try. I really can't record it. But I'm not gonna.
Let's not talk about that right now. Some stories just aren't as happy as I would like them to be, and I love it. I do. But some days are like, okay, no, I'm not in the mood for a 60-plus-year-old Ric Flair match.
Yeah, exactly. You can't really wrestle forever. I can try. I really can. But I don't want to.
Lots of people can try.
Yes.
But now let's talk about career goals within the wrestling industry, because I'm sure there are several promoters that will seek to make these things happen. There have been a couple of matches that I've asked people, like, if you had your ideal choice of, I want to get this off of my checklist, I want to try this type of match or that type of match before I'm done with this business. Are there any matches that stand out? Like, you know what, I want to climb that ladder. I want to, jump up and down on that casket or whatever the heck you want to do.
I never actually thought about it.
Well, now I'll give you something to think about.
I know. I haven't actually thought about it. Before I wrestled, that would have been an easy question. But now that I am a wrestler, it's kind of hard because I like one-on-one matches. That's my thing. I always like one-on-one matches. Okay. I guess I would want to try a ladder match. Just try. It could be fun,
know. How about this? Let me name off a few. You give me a yay or nay or the likelihood that you would want to try it.
Okay.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is just general vicinity. We're not going to go, like brass knuckles. I'm not going to go specific title matches. We're just going to do broad. Hardcore match.
Okay.
That's a yay or nay?
Oh, I didn't hear it. Sorry.
Hardcore match.
Hardcore match. Yay. I would try it once at least.
So promoters,
my mom would probably kill me.
That's a hardcore match with a sizable question mark behind that.
Yes.
Strap match.
A strap match? Yay. I do that.
Stretcher match.
I do that too. Yay.
Ambulance, casket, trash can, or any variation thereof. They're all basically the same thing.
Right. Nay.
Nay?
Nay.
Really? Why?
I don't really like I guess I never tried. I guess I never tried like stretcher matches or like hardcore matches or matches where you have to like, use weapons to do. They kind of scare me a little bit. They're a little skeptical. I'm going to be like really honest. They're skeptical. Like I don't know what's going to happen. At the end of the match, I could be seriously hurt. So I don't know. I wouldn't really want to risk it that much,
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Iron Man, or in your case, Iron Woman match.
Yeah, I do that.
You would do that.
Yeah.
Would the time limit be a factor in you saying yes? I mean, because there's one thing to say, yeah, I'll do 30 minutes, but what about that full hour? Would you do?
I've done a full hour before. It's hard, but you can do it. It's actually kind of easy if you actually like plan out the match accordingly. Then it's really easy.
Okay, so you've done an hour match already.
Yes.
Who's the opponent in this?
It was actually, funny enough, Claudia Desolis.
Okay.
We did a 45 to an hour minute match for Queens of Wrestling here in Texas. It's custom, so somebody ordered it, but we did 45 minutes to an hour. And it was fun, actually. It was lots of fun. Mm-hmm.
Indeed. All right. Steel cage.
Yay.
Oh, okay. I was expecting a nay out of that. All right. Well,
I do a yay on that.
You do a yay on that.
Yeah.
Tables.
Nay.
That was an easy and quick no. All right. So I think it's safe to say that it's questionable on some of the hardcore stuff, whether Casey will do it or not. But if it requires wrestling or any length of wrestling or maybe contained wrestling as steel cage, then you'd be game for it.
Yeah, pretty much. I just, like I said, I'm more of a, I like just nice, good, old, regular old match. If we like to throw in, some tables in there, I'd have to think about it. Because I've never done it before.
Well, I'm just going to say now, if I'm a promoter and I'm listening to this conversation right now, if I'm listening to this interview, that sounds like an angle waiting to be sprung off right there. I'm just saying. If I got a wrestler that is, quote unquote, not really wanting to get inside of a hardcore match, then, or something of that nature, then what are you going to do? You're going to try everything that you can to get that person in there.
Right? They're gonna throw me in a hardcore match, but it's okay because
you gotta stretch that thing out. It's got to go a couple of weeks. You got to make people just be begging to see Casey be thrown into a hardcore match of some sort. But
right? To be honest with you, I probably would do it. Just to at least do it once and see how it is.
Yep.
My mom will be mad at me, but I would at least do it.
Don't show her the video.
Hmm?
Don't show her the video then.
I won't. She probably won't want to see it. She probably won't want to hear about it either.
I'm pretty sure. Now, here's the real question here. Of all the people that are on these circuits, both independently and professionally, or, well, they're all professional, but independent and nationally known, let's call it that. I want you to pick me one person that is independent, one person that is famous that Casey Warfield would love to step in the ring with. Whether you know him or not.
One independent and one famous?
Yeah, whether you know him or not.
I would love to step in the ring with Mia Yim. That's independent, right? Yeah.
Yes.
With Mia Yim. I feel like I would learn a lot from her. You know, she's been in the wrestling business for such a long time, and she's really, really good. And I feel like I would, like, you know, actually build off of that match if I had the chance to do it. So, famously, I would love to come to the ring with Natalya. That would be fun.
Okay.
Yeah, she's built. You know, she's really, really built. So we could lift each other up and stuff, and I think it'd be a really good match.
But do you have an answer for the sharpshooter though? That's the because we don't know what Casey has up her sleeve. So, is there an answer for the sharpshooter in your bag of tricks?
You know, I've never been put in it, so I'm gonna have to write some things down. Have to go into the ring and have to do a little practice, and then I'll let you know.
Well, now when Casey decides that she does want to finish off an opponent, when you're ready to put them away, because you know, I know a lot of times y'all put up your profiles and you know this is my signature moves, these are my favorite moves, blah 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 blah. So let's go to what is the move? What does Casey Warfield break out when all else fails? This is what I hit him with, and it's over.
Well, in Michigan, because different places I do different stuff, but in Michigan, I do a choke bomb.
Okay.
And I modified it when I moved down to Texas because a bunch of people do that down here. And it's the same thing, except for if you were to come with me at a kick, then I could catch it, and then I could turn it into a choke bomb. So, yeah.
All right.
It looks pretty sick.
Well, Dan, for those that may remember Ohio Valley Wrestling, then you may want to check out the Damager because that move was formerly Brain Damage. Mm-hmm. Or you can catch her on YouTube because I saw her do that move myself. So, yes, that's right. And that's the other thing. We want to make sure that people can find you. So let's talk about your social media. Do you want to give out your Twitter and Facebook for your followers to catch you?
I officially have a Twitter, which, you know, I vowed I wasn't going to do, but now I have a Twitter. It's under Casey Warfield. And I also have a Facebook fan page, which is also under Casey Warfield. If you want to go like it and like me and follow me, that'd be fantastic.
Indeed.
Because I post everything that I'm doing. I post some pictures and whatnot, what shows I'm going to. Typical stuff.
Speaking of which, upcoming shows, you have to plug yourself. Are there anything that any of your listeners should be aware of coming in the near future?
I haven't booked myself at all this month for the end of the year.
Okay.
Next year in January, I am wrestling again for Queens of Wrestling for custom. So if they want to go online to queensofwrestling.com, they could make a match with me or Athena if they really want to. Or they can make a match with me and Dana Scott, which she is coming down from the north to Texas. So that would be kind of fun.
Okay.
So yeah, we should order some matches. Give me some matches. I want to beat some girls up.
So we have some customs that are going on.
Oh yeah.
And typically speaking, I mean, you sound like a nice enough person right now. Mm-hmm. But when you're in the ring, and we want to talk about on the independent circuit, as you say, regionally things kind of differ. You may be loved in one place, hated in the next.
Yeah.
More often than not, where does Casey Warfield fall in that line?
Like loved or hated?
Loved or hated? Because I've seen both of you.
I don't know. I think I'm more loved than I am hated. I think. I could be wrong.
That could be the heel in you talking. I think I'm more loved. People love me.
Everybody loves me. And if they don't, they should.
Yeah, that sounds a little heelish there. I mean, are you sure? You know, you might have a twisted perception on reality right now. You know, people may actually have been booing you.
No one's really been booing me in a while. So.
Not a little while, okay. You haven't given them any reasons to dislike you. Not
yet.
But you let them keep chanting Athena's name during those matches.
Oh, they'll just wait for that one.
And then we'll see who's getting booed then.
Right.
Okay, so I think you have gone in, and we're going to say that right now she's a loved individual. You can follow Casey, as she says, on her Facebook at Casey Warfield, and Twitter also Casey Warfield. Any other social media that we should be aware of? Do you have a YouTube that you post your matches up so they can see what you're doing?
I do not have a YouTube yet. I will probably at the beginning of next year. I'm going to have some people tape my matches from next year on out. Okay. So that is under construction right now.
All right. Now, you know the other thing that fans love to do is they love to hear the promos. They love to hear when you guys are sitting in front of a camera making reference to somebody else that you're going to get into the ring with, because that is one of the things that drives them to follow you. They want to be able to reach out and be able to touch your character or identify with your character. So are those things floating around on YouTube as well? And in the beginning of the year, when you get your personalized camera crew to tape your matches, will you be posting those also?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I most likely will. I'll probably be posting those myself. Because now I actually have a camera. I'll have a camera next year, so I didn't have a camera all this year at all. So.
Shame. And I'm just going to say, at this point in time, you have a cell phone.
Yep.
Cell phones, tablets, cameras all account for being able to do it. Just, for those that are out there, because I am a camera guy and I just despise the camera being pointed straight up and down. Turn that thing sideways and get rid of them black bars on the side. So I'm sorry. That's personal preference there.
I understand. Trust me.
Last thing here, so we can get some identification and separate you from the pack. And this may stall you a bit, so I want you to think about it. Explain to me the persona of Casey Warfield.
Well, Casey is tough, and I'm still learning. I'm still trying to find that persona. I know I've been doing this for a couple of years now, but there's still work that needs to be done.
Takes a while. I can take that. That's understandable.
Yeah, there's still work that needs to be done. So I'm in the midst of trying to find that, that niche, that persona niche,
Okay.
So, yeah.
But as she stands right now, she's a tough, let's say, 3-year rookie. No, I don't know if there's such a thing as a 3-year rookie.
I don't know.
That doesn't even sound right as I say it. So, no. All right. Well, we'll just leave that as you're still in the learning process.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. All right. So now, last things, we've gotten it, and we've tried to identify Casey Warfield to the listening public. Upcoming dates, she has custom shoots with what's the name of the custom company again, please?
Queens of Wrestling.
Queens of Wrestling. So if you want to see her in her dream match against Athena, you can order that match. How much control do they have over what do you do in the company?
They can pick what we wear. They can basically write the script for us.
Okay.
Basically, yeah. It's to a certain extent. Like, we're not gonna you're not gonna make us not wear anything and then be in the ring. Like, obviously not. But
okay.
it's just you can make us wear our usual attire if you want. You can make us wear one pieces.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Normal stuff.
All right, so for those out there that have that extra bit of disposable income and they want to play Booker for a day, you can make those matches happen. You can get them in their normal attire. You can get them in bathing suits, apparently. But please don't be a perv and try to get anything beyond that. So,
please.
It's a wrestling match. Let's just leave it at that. And for goodness sake, try to make a decent wrestling match. I've heard somebody that just did a power driver match, and there's just nothing but straight power drivers. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. There's a lot of scripts that I've done that kind of didn't really make that much sense. So the script should at least make a little bit of sense, so we can do it to the T, because they're paying for it.
Yes, they are paying for it, but that right there, if there's any sign to let you know that everybody's not designed to be a booker, is that.
Yeah.
I think they've played their cards, and then now you know that everybody just can't do it. They're not very good at trying to put these things together. So that being said, closing statements. What is the plan for you coming into 2014? Are you going to take over the world? Are you going to stomp all over Texas? What's going on?
Right now, I'm going to stomp all over Texas. And see what's going on. Yeah, and then, the acting classes I told you about earlier, I'm probably going to do that and do some film, too. So you never know. Look out for me.
Indeed. Well, then, when we have some movies going on out here in Atlanta, Georgia, we'll be sure to pass that information along. Maybe you can make your acting debut and jump into Tyler Perry Studios somewhere, because everybody here wants to be in Tyler Perry Studios, despite that I really don't like it. So
yeah.
That being said, I want to thank you for coming on to the program today. Make sure that I have your Twitter and Facebook so it can be posted so people can follow you. And when you do have your YouTube channel up, please let me know and I will pass that information along.
That I will.
All right. And for joining me.
Thank you.
And thank you for your time and making the effort to get a hold of me today so that we can make this thing happen.
Yeah, of course.
Indeed. So for everybody else that's listening out there, I want to thank you for tuning in to this interview. Be sure to follow Casey and her various social media. Be sure to check out the show again. blogtalkradio.com/The Wrestling Show for the MP3 version of this. If you are on YouTube and you're just sitting around and you want to catch it there, you can catch it on the Women's Pro Wrestling Network in its entirety. And that, of course, and I want to make a quick plug for the dog collar match that I just shot for Pandora and Darcy Dixon. That was a good one. And you're getting that all for free. So, there's really nothing for you to lose there. So thanks a lot, everybody. Thank you, Casey. And we will see you all next podcast.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.